where he came in from? He came in from Vern Gagne and them, because we brought so many different people in each week to help me fight Jerry Lawler. And so then he came in from Vern Gagne at that particular time.
What was when he went to Memphis there? He'd already been in Japan, so that was 42 years ago. So that was about 83, right?
Yeah, it's about that time, 70, about 79, 80 or whatever. But he, and then the next time I got with him is back when I got into professional wrestling with Jerry. I was managing him. Lawler broke his leg, and we shot this big angle where every week, every Monday night, we'd bring somebody else to fight for me. And if Jerry beat them, he got 10 minutes with Jimmy Hart, right? And so one of the people we brought in was Hulk Hogan then. He was Terry Bollea the first time I met him, back in the first time. But then later on, a year or so later, he was Hulk Hogan. So we brought him in to fight the King. And thank good we got a DQ that night. So that way I didn't get to fight Jerry Lawler, you know. So that was that. We became friends after that. We had so much in common. You know, I came from a band background. He came from Ruckus in Tampa background. He loved music. Jerry Lawler loved music. So it was a great combination of us bonding really together back then.
Jimmy, that first time you met him, had he just came from Pensacola, or did you guys get him before Pensacola got him?
No, you know where he came in from? He came in from Vern Gagne and them, because we brought so many different people in each week to help me fight Jerry Lawler. And so then he came in from Vern Gagne at that particular time.
Yeah. Brian, let's go back to the very, very beginning. Back in, I think it was 77, somewhere around there, right? When Terry was coming over, or was it 76?
Well, I met him in 1975 at the Other Place Lounge when I was 17 and snuck in, and he was playing in Ruckus. You know, he had his mama's jewelry on and these big platforms, and he stood
You're in high school.
Wait a minute. His mama's jewelry on.
Yeah. Ruth.
Wait, Brian, there's so much to unpack in that first sentence. You're 17, you're in high school, you're sneaking in a bar, and he's wearing his mom's jewelry?
Yeah, Ruth. He would get Ruth's jewelry and wear this wild jewelry, you know, looks like women's jewelry, and the long blonde hair, the tan, you know, the perfect Fu Manchu, the big platforms, playing the bass guitar, rocking out. I mean, he was amazing, and he was so nice to me when I first met him. Then you fast forward, we're not too much forward. We were just marks in the Armory watching the wrestling matches, and he used to heckle the heels once in a while. And after that, we started in the dungeon at 106 North Albany Street. I started the summer before, and then Terry started in 77, I believe it was, end of 76, 77. And you know, we broke in together.
I think you worked with him in Fort Myers, right?
I worked with him in Fort Myers.
Serrano.
Yeah, I worked with him in Fort Myers.
Don Serrano was the first one, and if you don't mind, I'll tell that story there. I remember sitting there. I was assisting Johnny Valentine at the time, and Johnny was really, honestly, against breaking Terry in. He just didn't feel like he had anything. He was a rock and roller. He had that stigma, rock and roller, you know, at the time. You know, it was, he was just here for trying to enhance himself and all that stuff. So, you know, Jack and I took the time. We did the same thing. We went out the other place and saw his band, the Ruckus, and it got him to try out with Matt Suda. You know, and of course, all that is history there, where he got his ankle injured by Matt Suda and slipped out of the arena and said, "I'll be back." And we all shook our heads. "Yeah, you'll be back. You're rock and roll. You won't be back." And about 6 weeks later, he was back. So, but Terry, when Terry come back, he was better at cardio shape. And I don't think the night before he had a gig, and the first time he got injured, he had a gig the night before. So he had probably been up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you know. And this time he come in, he made sure he didn't have the gig the night before, came in refreshed, and they handled himself pretty good against Matt, to tell you the truth. And so, you know, Eddie was there. Bruce Pritchard told me the other night that there's a video floating around of me, Jack, and Eddie, and Hero, and Terry in the ring during that time there. I've never seen it, but Bruce is going to track it down. But anyway, Terry had a short break-in period, and I I talked to Hero, and he said he's ready to have a first match. So that's when we booked him against Don, because no offense to you, Brian, you were a greenhorn too. You didn't have the experience, but we booked him against Don Serrano. I remember the night, and Don, of course, went to the ring first. Don got to the ring. All of a sudden, there were no music, no fireworks, none of that bullshit back in the day. There, just okay. And his opponent out walked Terry Bollea, and he walked out, and he as close the arena just went silent. I don't know if you were there that night, Brian, or not, but the arena just went silent. And by the time he got to the ring on his very first entrance into professional wrestling, he had a standing ovation going. And Jack and I kind of elbowed each other. Wow, this kid's got something, you know, that we know he's got. So then I think, he wasn't getting many bookings. So I think the very next night you were working with him in Fort Myers. You guys went out, and I think you guys went 10, 15 minutes, or 10 minutes, or whatever the time when it was back in those days, and had a hell of a match. So then you kind of got that's where you kind of got in. And Brian, if you want to jump in on the Chiefland, then we booked him in Chiefland, Florida, a little spot show up the road here, and an arm with about 300 to 500 people. Brian, what happened to that night? And that was supposed to be a 15-minute time limit?
Yeah, but I don't remember it. I don't remember him. Did he actually have a match with Don Serrano?
Oh, yeah, of course he did. He went out and had about a 10, 15-minute match, had a standing ovation, like I said, man. Brian, that's pretty well documented where his first match was against Don Serrano.
Yeah, I was in Fort Myers, and then anyway, in Chiefland, we had worked a match for, they told us we were going to have a 15-minute draw, so Terry and I worked in the gym on some spots and stuff, and in the dungeon, and so we get out there, and he's the Super Destroyer now. He's not Terry Bollea. He's got a mask on, and he's the Super Destroyer. And I have pictures.
And then just throw this in. It's in Chiefland Armory. No air conditioning. Probably 115 degrees in that armory under that mask.
So anyway, we know we have a 15-minute match. I had been working for a couple months, so I was still green as grass, and we were both green, but we were having a really good match, and we hear 10 minutes gone, 5 minutes to go. And so, usually they have a 1-minute countdown, but it's going down. It seems like it's getting to 15 minutes, and we decide to kick it in and, start our comeback. And oh my gosh, all of a sudden we hear 15 minutes gone, 15 minutes to go, and we were just gassed to the gills. We had nothing left in the tank, and that was probably the worst 15-minute match in the history of wrestling. But I looked out and I told Terry, I said, we must be having a heck of a match. Look, all the boys are out. It was Ivan Koloff and some of the other heels, the Brisco brothers, Morocco, everybody's out there watching the match. So we felt really good, like we were having a great match, and they were just waiting for the rib. And it was terrible.